Have you ever been trying to learn how to do something for years?
And suddenly it just clicks and you figure it out.
Stay tuned. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey guys, welcome to the show. Welcome back. It's been a little while since
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, since we've had a podcast, but it was time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people think we probably quit, but we didn't. We've been working on some stuff. We've been really busy doing other things and hadn't really had a lot of time to get on here and do anything. But
yeah, y'all, I am super pumped about what we want to talk about tonight. Have you ever had a time in your life when you've just struggled and you've just tried to learn how to do something and it seemed like it just didn't come together?
oh, I have, for sure.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's where we have been over the last, I'm going to say since 2018. Well, I know that in 2016, God had laid something in my spirit and it just laid there for a couple of years. And I didn't do anything with that because I had no idea where to start.
Right.
And then in 2018, he just wouldn't back up with it and just kept bringing it to me. And so I was like, okay, but I don't know how. And so we started trying. I started trying. And then I was trying to ask you to help me and you had no idea how to help me. And
yeah, none at all.
it was just...
So here's my thing with computers. I know how to do certain things, but beyond those things, I'm completely lost.
So
It's like I learned how to do a certain thing, and then anything outside of that, I'm not real tech savvy when it comes to.
Oh my goodness, you say that.
I'm really not.
But I guess y'all can tell by now that it does have something to do with the computers and just programs and stuff like that.
Well, technology has made it so much easier now.
Yeah.
To do things that we struggled with trying to do on our own. It's so much easier now.
Yes. And so I was trying to do a blog. I started a blog in 2018. And it was such a struggle for me. And I had gotten my own website. It was just technical stuff, wording that I did not understand. My brain doesn't seem to work that way. I like to paint. I'm in the creative mode. I'm a creator. I like to lead worship. I am, that's me. I'm the creative one.
Right.
And you know what? You're the creative one too. But the thing about it is we have different talents and gifts that coincide and then some that just play off of one another and we enhance one another.
Right. Back when we were traveling and singing, we had a website.
Yeah.
That I built. And it almost drove me insane.
I remember.
I hated that website more than anything. I was so glad when social media came out so we could get rid of that stupid website and just do social media.
Yeah.
Because, people still have websites, but social media is the way to go.
Well, it made it so much easier. But I remember when we would take the camcorder when we were out traveling and singing. We would take the camcorder and we would film this stuff. And then you would come home and you would put the video together and you would put music behind it and you would put words on the screen and stuff.
Well, having the studio, I knew how to do that.
Well, and you had to work to learn how to do that.
Yeah, it was a lot of, yeah.
So I don't know that they know that, but we did have a recording studio that we did for a time.
Yeah.
And so that kind of drove you crazy too for a while. I know.
Yeah, the editing software it's a learning curve.
It was a learning curve, but you do so great at it. But anyhow, so that kind of stuff is just has not been our area of expertise.
Yeah.
That's not where we have thrived. But anyhow, so 2018 I started that blog. And we just struggled with it. And then the stuff happened where the world kind of shut down and everything. And we got so focused on doing our business that the Lord just opened up for us, which was our candle and gift shop.
Right.
During that time, I remember that I was homeschooling the kids, and we had a little craft booth in several little towns. Well, I just had it in one town at the time, and then during their homeschooling thing, I was trying to incorporate some art in there, and some things like that, and just began to learn some different stuff and on that order and have some fun. And then the world shut down. But Lizzie, our daughter, ended up making a batch of candles. And we put that out there on social media. And when we did, people started just
Yeah,
saying,
we didn't really make them to sell.
No.
And people started wanting to know if they could buy them and started placing orders for them, and it just went crazy.
I know. I mean, like, they would come, we'd put them out there on the picnic table, and they would come to the,
Yeah.
they would drive up to the house, PayPal us the money, drive up to the house and get it off the picnic table.
Yep, or either leave cash on the table.
Leave cash on the table. Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah.
And then it just grew.
Yeah.
So we were so consumed with that, and then we ended up getting wholesale orders, and we started doing wholesale, and then we ended up actually having a brick and mortar. Well, first of all, let me back up. It just expanded so much that we had little booths in several different towns around us.
Yeah.
And so we did our products, our candles, we did, our room sprays, our wax melts. Then we had all our little arts and crafts stuff that we were doing. That's what I originally had the booth for.
Yeah.
Because, I had been used to being busy all the time, being at work all the time. And I came home to homeschool because it was time and I had to. For those of you who don't know, we adopted, our son's adopted, and then our daughter is miracle by birth. I say they're miracle in their own ways, but anyhow, I know we had been having some therapy and stuff, and so the therapist actually said that we needed to homeschool Gage, and then I just didn't feel like that was fair to homeschool one without homeschooling the other, and Lizzie was having panic attacks going to school. The kids would just surround her, and they just wanted to rub her hair, and it was causing anxiety, which I can understand. They would surround her.
And then they stopped taking out-of-county transfers, so that kind of forced us into the homeschooling thing.
Yeah, it was just crazy.
The school in our county was awful. I wouldn't send my daughter there.
No.
So.
And so I had a full-time job, and Mom and Dad were helping us homeschool. But, when you know that season's over, you gotta, that we knew that door was closing, and they couldn't do that anymore. And it was right on time because my mom, I think it was my dad that ended up getting hurt. And then my mom had to take care of him, and there would have been no way. So it was just a right on time thing. But during that process is when I started homeschooling, and then we started having the arts and crafts. Well, the reason I started more of the crafts is because I had been busy with the nursing home where I was working in the memory care unit. I was directing the memory care unit, and I was so busy all the time. And so then I came home to just 4 walls and 2 children because you were at work.
Yep.
And
was that the time that the car fell on your dad?
I think it was.
I want to tell that story real quick.
Okay.
So I go to walk up under the garage where he's working, and he's got his car jacked up with just the little scissor jack that comes with it. And those things are horrible. The best thing to do with those is throw them in the woods somewhere and get you a good jack. But he had the car jacked up with that, and he was up under it working on it. I said, man, you need to put some jack stands under that thing. I'm not going to be under here long. So I went and got some and put them under there. And it wasn't just a few minutes after I put them on there, the jack broke.
Yeah.
And the jack stands caught it, but it still hit him a little bit, not enough to do a whole lot of damage. But
that dolly thing that he was laying on.
If he was on that dolly, so it came down enough to where it pushed down on him enough that it broke the dolly.
Right.
But if it wouldn't have been for the jack stands, it would have killed him, no question.
Oh, absolutely. So God, that was
I saved his life that day. I hope he remembers that.
On time thing, man. That's on time thing.
Yeah.
But so
And I've done that 100 times. I'm not saying, I've jacked a vehicle up and got under it to change the oil without jack stands more times than I care to admit. But the older I get, the more cautious I get.
Yeah. Well, that had not happened before we made the decision for me to come home.
Right.
But it happened in the process of the transition.
Yeah.
And we knew that that's what we had to do. So, anyhow, so here I was home then, homeschooling, and that was new to me because my mom had actually been doing that, and we had been using some different programs, and we decided to homeschool in a different manner. And I came home to those four walls and two kids, and so I had to have a creative outlet for myself as well.
Right.
And so we started doing the arts and crafts, and then that opened up where I could have a little booth somewhere, and that was helping. And then all of a sudden, they started asking for candles when the world shut down.
Right.
Right. And so it just really expanded. So I was ministering to people. That was another thing that I did. I would do like Facebook Lives and stuff like that and minister to people and do devotions and things like that. And then, and I had things on my heart that I wanted to do, but then, everything just happened.
Right.
And it just seemed like I just couldn't get back to that place.
Yeah.
We ended up in Louisiana at the, and had our brick and mortar store in there. That opened up, and we ended up having a brick and mortar store of our candles and gifts.
Right.
In Louisiana. And then from there, we ended up in Tennessee. And so it just hasn't been really an opportunity. We got here then, and then all of a sudden I had stopped the website and everything. And then Mark says he wants to start a podcast. And honestly, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I wasn't thrilled. I was not.
Well, you don't listen to podcasts.
I don't listen to podcasts, really. I wasn't thrilled. Now, I do like the YouTube videos. I love YouTube videos. I watch them all the time. But if I can't see the people, I'm such a visual person that I like to see them.
Yeah, but I can listen to podcasts on the way to work.
Right.
But I can't watch a YouTube video in the truck going down the road. Well, I could, but it wouldn't be very smart.
Well, anyhow, I just wasn't excited that we were starting another project. I just felt we had been through so much emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. It was just so much that I felt so drained, and I didn't feel like I had anything to give anymore.
Right.
And so, we had come out of the music ministry where we were full time, and then the Lord opened that door for us with the children. And then I ended up getting a job full time that I, just ended up spending 8 years just of my life just thrown into that so much, where I was, directing memory care and all those things. I just wasn't ready for a podcast. But like I said, I didn't feel like I had anything to give. But, we started it. And once we started the video section, I've just gotten excited about it.
Yeah, we started off with let's just do a podcast and tell stories. We've got so many stories, and it wasn't long. We were like, we're out of stories. We got to come up with something different. So we've kind of changed up a little bit. We still got the story element in there, but we're doing some new stuff too. So
yeah, and then we've had some guests, and we still hope to have some guests on.
Yeah, I want to have some guests on.
But it's just been a learning curve for some things, and so y'all just never know what you're liable to see or what you're liable to hear, right?
That's exactly right. You never know with us what you might come up with.
Yeah, but we've been starting something new, so I'm so excited, and just recently, I was praying. I was on my way to work, and I said, I'd been doing some things, and I just said, and I may cry, so you bear with me. I remember on my way to work, and I said, God, if I have been asking you to bless what I've been doing, then I repent from that, and I'm sorry. I said, maybe I've been wanting a certain thing. I said, so I just want to get into what you want for me, because I've been struggling with some things, and knowing how to do whatever. I've got to tell you that that very same day, that afternoon. So just several hours later, I mean, something opened up and clicked, and it's just been rolling ever since then.
Yeah.
Rolling wide open. And we have been wide open. And I've put together I've actually put together a 7-day devotional and journal, and it's digital. So proud. And it's digital. And so it's the devotion part. It's got a prayer, and it's got a place where it's got questions, and you can actually print it. It's a printable, and you can print it, and then you can actually journal in that. And I just can't tell y'all how proud I am of that. And it actually comes from the whole chapter of Psalms 23, and it's just talking about still waters and the peace. And so we'll drop a link in the description of this so that you can get to that. I guess you can do that on the podcast. I know that you can do it.
Yeah, I can put it in the show notes. Yeah.
I know that you can do it on the YouTube, so we'll drop that in there. If y'all want to get that, you can. I'm excited about it because to me, that's a bridge that I was able to cross, and it's the first.
Yeah.
It's just the first of what I feel like, God has for us to do.
Yeah.
And then that's not enough. I didn't even bring Kleenex with me. But then we started, I said I wanted to make a, and I'm just wiping, for those that's watching, that's just listening to podcasts, I'm just wiping tears. I said I wanted to make a children's coloring book, and I wanted it to be Christian ABCs. So it'd be like A for Angel, and so God has helped me. And we've put that together. And so that is actually a hard copy on Amazon, and we can drop a link for it if you want. It's not even, I don't even know if we can. It's not even out yet, is it?
No, we had to do some editing. It's still under review, but it should be live in a few days. So
okay,
y'all keep watching. We'll let y'all know when it goes live.
So we got that. Now I do have it digitally. And so I do have that. And then I showed Mark what I was doing, and then he got on board. He got excited, and he was like, well, let me try. And so, y'all, he came up with this. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's the Gone Fishing coloring book. And he's put this one together. Now, this one's not for sale. It's got a big stripe across there. It's just
the band across it.
Yeah.
It's a proof.
It's just a proof for us, but it's got all kinds of really, really cool fishing pictures. And then we got this fishing one. It's called Fishing Fun, and it is even thicker than the other one.
Yeah, that's the best one.
This one's the best one of the fishing one. And those are live. Y'all, he has really got on a roll. I've been so proud of him. And then,
it's fun.
I know.
It's fun.
And then he's got the dinosaur book that he did.
Look, do you know how much, when I was a kid, if I would have had a fishing coloring book like that, that would have been awesome. You couldn't find anything like that.
I know.
I mean, I've got a lot of stuff in the works.
I know.
I've got some kids' coloring books in the works. I've got some adult coloring books, some grown-up stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of adults color.
Oh, I color.
I didn't realize that until I started doing some research online, and 70% of coloring books now are sold to adults.
Yeah.
Because they color for therapeutic reasons. It's calming. Like, if you got a stressful job, they say you can, on your break, you can color, and it'll calm you down, calm your nerves.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the funny thing for me is that's one of the things that happened, because I've been stuck in this cubicle on my job, and I've been having anxiety from the cubicle. And so one day I was like, this is driving me crazy. I've got to find something to do, and I can't take paint. I love to paint. I can't take my paints, can't do all that. So I got a coloring book, and I got coloring pencils, and then I got, I think I got a word search and a coloring book. And so that's what I would do, in there in between calls, because I take reservations for like a resort.
Yeah. Now, these two that you showed, they're kind of for all ages.
Yeah.
Some of them are simple enough that a 6-year-old can do it, but some of them are really intricate,
Yeah.
like for an adult. The adult coloring books that I have coming, though, one is a book of floral patterns,
Yeah, it's so pretty.
and one is a book of stained glass windows.
Yeah, it's really
It's
nice.
very intricate,
Yeah.
very much so. It's not something I would even attempt, but a lot of people like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then even after that, so we've been learning how to do stuff by hard copy, and then we've been learning how to do stuff digitally. And so we have, if y'all been around us very long, if you're on social media with us, TikTok, Facebook, all those things, then you see that we love our fur baby Roscoe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And y'all, you did a coloring book of Roscoe.
He's getting his own coloring book.
He's got his own
Yep.
coloring book. And y'all, I have made a digital storybook of Roscoe and Lizzie,
Yeah.
our daughter Lizzie. So he's really her dog. And listen to me, DAWG, dog. Dog.
Yeah.
That's the southern
the
of me coming out.
Correct pronunciation
Yeah.
for the word.
Dog.
It's not dog. You're not a Yankee.
That's right. I'm definitely not that. I'm from the deep South. So anyhow, I just said, Mark, we just got to share with the people what's going on. This is how come we really haven't had a podcast in a while. Somebody asked me a couple of days ago, are y'all still doing that? I'm like, yes. We've just got so many things in the
Yeah.
works at one time that we just had to,
We've had so much going on.
yeah.
It's been crazy.
Yeah. Anxiety stuff going on from the cubicle, trying to figure out what I needed to do. And I was telling you about this, and I said, and I think I actually did a TikTok about it. A lot of times you are fighting a big battle at the same time that God's opening a door. That
Oh, yeah.
fire seems like that fire gets hotter right there in that doorway
Oh, yeah.
when you're trying to bust through
sure.
to that other side.
Yeah.
And that's where I've been.
If you don't meet any resistance, that's when you need to worry. Because it's normal for when you're trying to go through a door for, the enemy to try to block you from going in that door and throw up all kind of stuff. If you don't encounter any resistance trying to go through that door, you might better step back and say, okay, is this what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah.
Because he's always busy trying to shut you down and stop what you're doing.
That's right. So I guess I would like to ask you, is there something that God's laid on your heart or that you've had on your heart to do for years? Because this just may be your season. This may be the season, and that it just suddenly opens up for you, because it can definitely happen.
Absolutely. I've got something else in mind I want to do, but I'm not going to talk about it yet.
Okay. Yeah, and I've actually started on something else that I haven't.
Excuse me, I'm yawning. I'm sleepy.
You yawning?
I yawned. I'm sleepy. Never yawn on camera. That's not good.
Am I boring you, Mark?
And I'm drinking coffee and I'm still yawning.
Well, yeah, I've been working on something else that was kind of a surprise too. So it's going to be exciting. Oh, I hope
Yeah.
it's not the same thing.
No,
I've
it's
got
not.
something on my mind. You
No,
got
it's
something on
not.
your.
It's not.
But y'all be looking. The podcast is just really the beginning of this season for us, and now this other stuff is coming up. And I've actually been in the works of kind of our memoirs kind of thing. We've had so many things that's happened to us over the years, starting from you even, being adopted at 13 days old.
Right.
And then, with the cancer that you've had and the heart ablation, the Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, to just, me with endometriosis and being told we couldn't have children, and, ending up gospel music, and how God opened the door for that, and just travel and great opportunities that we're able to have. And, and then here comes God saying, lay down the industry. We lay down we were doing prison work, nursing home work, conventions, we were doing churches, and then all of that shut down. And we thought we were going to at least get to keep the churches, but that's not what happened. It just continued to shut down. But in the process of us being obedient, 2 months later, we found out I was 4 weeks pregnant.
Right.
And so God's timing he's always on time.
Well, everything is in seasons, and I feel like we had fulfilled our season in the music ministry, and God had, because when we were traveling and singing, we've talked about this before. We had so many people come and tell us, God's going to give you the baby that He promised.
Of your heart.
Yeah, people that didn't know anything about us or our story or anything.
Right.
They'd say, God told me to tell you that He's going to give you the baby you've prayed for, but it's not time yet.
Yeah.
He's got a work for you to do first.
Right.
So, I feel like we fulfilled what we were supposed to do, and then the kids came.
Yeah, and I have heard, I have heard someone, they were like, oh, I just hate it. They've laid down their ministry, or they've laid down this. No, we hadn't.
No.
We've changed seasons.
Right.
We've changed seasons, and so the Lord opens doors. There's times that we sing. It's not that we've completely stopped singing,
right?
But we don't sing in the way that we did at one time. And you know what? It was exhausting.
It was.
I don't know that I could do that.
I don't want to use the word burned out, but I was close to it. Well, I guess burnout would be the only way to describe it. We were going so much and doing so much, and plus trying to work, and it was a lot.
Yeah, and even when we were full time, there would be nights that we would drive all night long. We might lay down for a couple of hours and sleep, and then get up and go sing.
Yeah.
Go minister or whatever, and because we didn't have the money rolling in where we could afford to do it a different way.
Yeah.
So
I remember a couple of times we would drive all night and get to the hotel and check in and have like 2 hours before we'd have to be at the church. And you drank a pot and a half of coffee on the road to try to stay awake, because there ain't no going to sleep. You get in the hotel room and lay down, but you don't go to sleep.
Right.
That'll wear you out, especially when you do that, a couple of times a weekend. It gets rough.
Right. And, which brings me to this point. You and I have had a heart for a long time that we believed that at some point we were going to get to the point where we could teach other people, that God was going to bring us to a point that we would learn certain things to do, and we would be able to teach other people how to do those things that we've learned how to do. And we can teach things because we know what we struggled with.
Yeah.
And so there's got to be people out there that struggle the same way we do. Maybe they're a creative person, but they don't know how to do the technical side.
Right.
And nobody else could explain it to them the way that we can explain it to them. And our heart is for especially people that feels the call to ministry, to be able to learn how to make money in a passive way. And it's not all passive, but eventually where you'll have more passive way where you can afford to go and minister in the capacity that God's called you to.
Right.
Just for instance, if we want to be able to go to the, the prison and ministry or the nursing home or whatever it is, you don't get paid to do that.
Right.
You don't get paid to do that, but it does cost money to be able to do certain things. Like when we were singing, it costs money to buy tracks. It costs money to have tracks made. If you don't have that and you have a band, well, it costs money to gas to get there. You got to feed the band. You got to feed, everybody. All these things. Sometimes you got to take off from work to be able to go and minister.
Yep.
And then, you may get there. I remember when we drove 14 hours one time. 14 hours. We had 3 singings to do, and it was 14 hours away. We drove in the motorhome, so it was $1,400 worth of fuel and expenses that we had. We had 3 singings while we were there. One of them ended up, it was the biggest snowstorm they had in 20 years is what they said. But one of them, we ended up getting like $54. And then the other one, we ended up getting $52 because there was nobody there. It was the biggest snowstorm. They wanted to cancel, and I'm like, ma'am, we're already here. We've driven 14 hours. And it wasn't a set in stone price. It wasn't like you were getting, this certain amount of money. And then we get to the parking lot of the church for the Sunday morning, and then they called and they completely dismissed service.
Yeah, they canceled with us sitting in the parking lot.
And so it was a little over $100 that we ended up getting. And honestly, y'all, that was because my daddy was there and your mom and dad was there, and they're the ones that put that money in.
Yeah.
And
that wouldn't even buy a tank of gas.
no, it was $1,400 worth of expenses. So anyhow, my point in saying all that, and then God provided like a couple of weekends,
absolutely,
either the next weekend or the next.
Yeah.
He absolutely
always
provided.
did.
Absolutely.
He always did.
But my point is, we've got a heart for people that minister and that travel and that do those things. It's called a ministry. They feel that calling, and maybe they're working full time and they're trying to go do that at the same time. You know, I want to see them to be free, to be able to fund their own ministry to where it don't matter whether they got $52 in the offering.
Right.
They can still pay their sound system bill.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And not just that, but families too.
Oh,
I mean, we know the struggle of even a family ourselves, you know. I remember, and I'm not poor mouthing, I'm just saying, I want to see people free.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember, the kids remember. We've talked about it, laughed about it. Like, you know, we have had hard times. We've had some hard times.
Yeah.
God's brought us through, but we've had some hard times. I mean, I remember a time when the four of us have shared 2 kids' meals.
Yeah.
Between the 4 of us.
Yeah.
You know, and so, I mean, and that happened more than once.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But there, you know, as bad as that was, there's still a lot of people that are way worse than that.
Absolutely. But the point of all that is, you know, definitely God's still faithful, but the Bible says that his people perish because of a lack of knowledge.
Exactly.
And so we have to get to the point where we invest in ourselves. And I'm not trying to sell you a course. I'm just telling you what's going on with us. We have to invest in ourselves, but it's not just about investing in ourselves. Because I've invested in myself for several years to try to learn to do some stuff.
Right.
But this dot didn't connect to this dot from where I was in, you know, I was taking classes and stuff. But the dots wasn't connecting for me.
Right.
But now it is.
Yeah.
And my dots is connecting has been helping your dots connect.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. So
Have I talked in circles tonight?
No, not at all.
I'm excited. Can y'all tell I'm excited?
Yeah, I'm gonna put links to the coloring books and all this stuff on the website, and I mean on the podcast and on the
YouTube channel.
Yeah,
In the description. Okay.
Went blank there. Had a senior moment. Went blank for a second.
Well, I feel like I've taught the whole entire time. I'm very excited. God has done something for me. I've struggled for the last couple of weeks. I have really, really struggled, and I've got a breakthrough. I'm on the other side, and hallelujah, praise God.
Amen.
He is good. He's good, and we got some good things going on, some exciting things. Y'all pray for us. Let us know in the comments, y'all. Are there some things that you've wanted to do for years, but you haven't been able to connect the dots? Let us know. Yeah, I'm interested.
It may be something we can help with.
It might be. And yeah, y'all pray for us and put that in the comments, and we'll pray for you.
All right, guys. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Rate and review the show, whatever you can do on whatever platform you're listening or watching on. We would surely appreciate it. And y'all come back and be with us next time.
Y'all have a good night. See you later on Tell Me That Story.
See you later. Bye-bye.